Alright, I'm going to talk about bugs for a little bit. So an update is these whales are still doing fantastic. They are still a perfect organism. They don't really change much. They are 13 neurons, or hidden nodes, instead of 12. So they have remained the same, for they are perfect for this environment. But what I've been looking at is my scavengers, because that's where my obsession lies right now. What I did is I re-engineered these guys and painted them green. I also maxed out their speed stat. So speed ratio from 0.5 to 1. I doubled it. And it has produced interesting results. Primarily, they have a much lower stable population now. I think the fact that they have much higher speed means that they have a higher not only a higher metabolic rate, which causes them to burn down faster, it also increases their territory size, so they end up consuming resources much faster with smaller numbers. So if I want consistently higher numbers with these guys, I think I'm going to either have to make a larger environment or slow them down. It's really cool to watch, but they are really low population. This one being eaten by its child, that happens a lot. And this is the biggest change that I really saw when I first changed over the speed, is these guys became really jittery when it comes to approaching food. They go full bore turbo speed out in the open when they don't have anything to grab onto, but the moment they see food, they zero in, they stop entirely, turn towards the food, and then vibrate towards it slowly. This is a good example of it. It takes them quite a bit longer to actually attain the resource than it would if I had left the speed on low. It still works though, and this is vastly improved from when I first made the change. We are currently about 200 generations in since I re-engineered these guys. I'm going to find another one. Or, no, let's watch this guy for a bit. It does take a while to get through the meat because he is in storage energy saving mode. This right now, no, he's definitely growing right now. So when his stomach is full and he has something that he can't swallow, he grows. He dumps a bunch of energy into growth at that moment to try to free up space in the stomach. And then the moment that it's not grabbing anything anymore, it turns growth most of the way down and retains it, turns it into sort of a long-term battery. But watch here, he's got food, it's growing. Oh, I do have concerns with these guys, primarily the low population. I think that it is lowering kind of the viability for progression with these guys, because they will occasionally go extinct, and I will lose a couple hundred generations every single time they do because I'm not watching. I do try to get updates for these guys. Every time one lives for 2,000 seconds, I save it, and I have several that I can choose from if they do go extinct, but that's still time lost, right? And if this was a higher population, more stable genome, I wouldn't need to worry about the reset happening. So I do believe that if I turn these down from 1.0 speed to say something like 0.7 or 0.8 speed, that they'd be more viable. And it does make me wonder if higher speed means lower population. If I slow these guys down even further, what would that do to their population? Would it increase? Would the field be able to handle more of them? I don't really want to deal with turtles. So probably not going to explore that immediately. I definitely want to watch things go fast, but I could try a turtle as a subspecies. Here we see exactly what I'm afraid of seeing. Is the population is down 17, it was 16. Anytime it gets under 20, I'm worried about an extinction event happening. And these guys actually spend quite a lot of time with a population under 20. Well, how old is this whale? So this whale is 1,300 seconds alive right now, which means I don't have anything remotely close to a potential snapshot for the genome. And I'm not going to take a snapshot of something that's only been alive for 200 seconds. I would believe that this one at 760 seconds is probably one of the elders at this point, and it just died. So there really isn't a candidate for snapshotting. Now this one's big, right? But it's only 340 seconds old. These guys, when they are born, have a huge growth spurt, and it happens very fast. We can actually try to watch that. That looks like a good candidate. The baby. Babies infuriate me because they always do this long, slow step towards the meat, which I think results in a lot of their death because they will starve while staring at food, and it's painful to watch. But this one's not doing it right. He's doing really slow, stuttering steps, but he's getting there. This. It's gotten better. I remind myself of that. So he's just growing. He's getting bigger and bigger, and he is technically mature, but he doesn't have enough energy to truly lay an egg. That happens at 214 energy. Just casually kills a whale, eats the whale, and now we're going to watch what happens when it gets plants in its system. And the energy is still holding strong, but we don't really see how detrimental it is until all the meat is gone. Okay, and it should just... He ran out of meat and he got off the plant, so he's no longer growing, which is honestly a fantastic outcome for this. As they get older, it definitely seems like they zero in and grab food a lot faster. We'll see how this goes. If this doesn't stop, we're gonna have a dead prog, and it's gone. Oh, you were a good prog. Oh, hold on. It's gonna be fine. Maybe. It needs to get that meat in its system, and then it's fine. Okay, cool. It's not often that you get to watch one grow from a baby to a big one. They often die before this opportunity arises. How old are you? 370 seconds, and we grabbed onto this one when it was an egg. Okay. Are we going to get our first egg? Not yet. It's still holding energy. Oh my god, you're doing so great. So the avoidance behavior has vastly improved with the addition of the increased speed. These guys are very good at dodging incoming whales, and I couldn't be happier about it. So that is our first egg, second egg, and both of them have a meal. Not only that, we are creating a whole nother pile of meat. So these guys, as far as their brain looks, don't have any specific hunting behavior, but for not being a hunter, they kill an awful lot of whales. and dodged. Gonna grab another piece of meat. Perfectly happy out here in this field. It's not until they get out here that they have problems. I mean, honestly, I think this belt just outside of the green zone is the happy place for progs. Especially since they can sustain themselves on plants and meat. They certainly can't compete in a plant zone with the whales. The whales will just thrive and bully everything out, right? Including progs. Even though they are technically progs. No, my baby! You ate my baby! I was watching that. How old are you? 2,000 seconds. Okay. This is an 1161, so we can pick up pretty much where we left off. I really like the improved movement speed just for getting through the boring zones. It just makes these guys more entertaining to watch. And I'm not as inclined to try to drag them back into the green zone. They're doing plenty. One thing I would like to talk to people about, and I would love their opinion on, is background music. Does anybody know any royalty-free background music that they would like to hear in the back of these broadcasts? Because I think, in a way, just playing music to the Bibites playing in the background would make for a great show. And then I wouldn't have to think of things to say. So, hit me up. Back to this. He's going. He's a champion. How old are you? 1344. I might get to save one. I'll be happy about that. I'd really like to see them get faster traveling, but acquiring the meat. They spend so long just getting to it. And I can appreciate, that they're very accurate for going as slow as they do. Most of the time they get the meat. But they could do better. They could do better. And it is slightly painful to watch. It's not even remotely smooth. And if you watch the energy flow, they are spending so much energy in that bob and weave because they're spending the full movement points, whether they're going slow or whether they're going fast, because they're bobbing and weaving so hard. I don't have charts for the averages, but if you watch it, it's fairly consistent. So as we see, taking a hit doesn't really matter a lot of the time. These guys can take a hit from something smaller. A bigger one's going to eat them, no problem. But they can take small hits. 1579. He's doing great. And honestly, so this is sort of the border zone, right? There's meat out here, and it's definitely enough to keep these bigger ones preoccupied. But it does mean that there's a lot of space in between. Please get the meat. I don't want you to die. I want to be able to save you as a genome, because we need an update. We're at 33,102. I like to have at least one every 100. I don't always get that, because sometimes I have to sleep or go to work, like I will do later. I'm loving our population. We're up to 44. I know this is optimistic in that this is definitely a crest. We will see this population fall, and it will make me nervous when it does. The problem is there's only so much meat on the field, and when you have 40 of these buggers going around getting them really fast, it doesn't leave a lot of meat on the field. $1,800. You're going to make this jump just fine. You might get to 2,000 before the jump even ends. I'd love to find some kind of improved behavior for void jumping. I like the just the basic rotate, but if only there was a way to just kind of shrink it when you're larger. And egg. Oh, you're laying way too many eggs, bud. You only left them one meat. Man, that is an evil move, creating 2 offspring and leaving them 1 meat between them. It's like, here's the stick, one of you will survive, the other will kill the other. Some Joker nonsense right there. Are you going to eat your own child after that? All that? Yes, you are. So, that's messed up, man. That's messed up. Not only did you force them to fight each other, you ate the one that won. You're a bad parent. Oh, goodness. We're still at 50 population. We haven't collapsed yet. I'm impressed. It usually means that there's a lot of new babies, and a lot of new babies typically die. You know, it's hard to be a prog. Even though I, in so many ways, have made it easier. It's hard to be a baby prog. It's not so hard to be a big prog. And he's just running around having a good time. Oh, we're over 2,100 seconds. We get a new candidate. I am happy. I'm going to pause real quick so we don't lose it. I'm going to Control C. I'm going to save. Control V. Prog Scav SpeedMax 33K. And this is the 3rd one because I am using programming numbers. Cool. I'm happy. Now we get to watch an Elder Prog. Is this the one that we got to watch from a baby? That's amazing. Doesn't get to happen very often. Maybe it's because I'm always looking for older ones. I'm not going to save you, though. No, you're going to go off into the great wide open. You're going to die alone. 17 minutes. I think that was a good video. They're doing good. I'd like to see higher populations, but I understand why they're not, and I don't necessarily want to go in and reduce their speed because I'm enjoying watching these, honestly. So there's not a lot of them, but they're still champions nonetheless. I'm going to save. I'm going to go ahead and post the BB-8 file in the Discord. So if anybody wants to play with it, you're absolutely welcome to. But yeah, signing out. I hope you guys have a great day.